We're still a few years out, but the celebrations have begun for the nation's Sesquicentennial. Let's welcome back Carl Borick, director of the Charleston Museum, who is really doing things up with a commemorative book, a new exhibit, some parties going on in the new year. Can't wait to learn more about this. So Charleston Museum is the nation's first museum. And of course, being that we're in Charleston, South Carolina, it is the mecca for much of the United States history. So tell us about more what you're going to be planning in the new year.
So this past year has been an exciting year for us. We've celebrated our 250th anniversary throughout this year. We were founded in 1773, so we're part of that history you just mentioned. And one of the really great events that we had for this year, when we kicked it off back in January, was a 21+ nighttime at the museum event. And it's based on a kids event that we do, but we made it for adults only. And we kind of bring out some of the more adult-themed collections that we have. For instance, we have curators during the event that are stationed throughout the museum. And our archivist brought out some of the photos that we wouldn't show, to the general public, and that was a lot of fun. Can you
describe any of these photos before we move on?
Well, come to the event and you'll see what I'm talking about. How about that?
I had to put you on the spot, Carl. I had to put you on the spot. So these are just photographs. They're not actual artifacts?
These are photographs.
Okay.
Well, let me put it this way. There was a photographer during the 1950s who took some photos of, that were a little risque, probably for the time. So, yeah. And
it sounds like for this time, too, you're turning
well,
red.
Probably tasteful for now, but for the 1950s, a little risque. So, but some really fun things she'll pull out. And then we'll have other curators and staff stationed throughout the museum. And what we're trying to do is present a learning opportunity, but in a way that's really fun and engaging, and that's probably a little bit more adult themed or adult oriented. For instance, we'll be doing something on historic drinking in Charleston.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be doing something on gambling during the Revolutionary War, where we'll literally play a card game from the Revolutionary War.
Oh, that's great.
People loved it last year. We have currency from the Revolutionary War in our collection that we've made examples of that we used to gamble with. Our historic textiles curator did something on historic underwear, where she had some of the corsets from our collection. It was a huge hit.
Well, it's fascinating because truly you wonder, how did people survive in those days? What did they use? How did they live? And these are very personal ways in which we can all identify with. So that's going to happen on what date?
That's January 12th.
Okay.
And that's actually our birthday, and so we'll be turning 251 on January 12th.
Oh, that's great.
People are encouraged to come in costume, historically themed costume, or as a low country, wildlife critter.
Yes.
There'll be prizes for best costume, and in fact, the winner last year dressed as Galileo, and he looked like Clark Griswold from Christmas Vacation when he goes up in his attic, and he's locked in the attic and he's putting on anything he can. That's what this gentleman looked like. But he really did a good job with his Galileo costume. So don't feel like you have to go out and rent an expensive costume. The winner had actually put his together from, I think, things he found around his house. So yes.
And before we run out of time, I want to talk about the new exhibit that's also going to be coming to the Charleston Museum. Can you give us a little sneak peek as to what that's going to be?
We're very excited. The momentum that we've really built up this year, we're looking forward to carrying into next year. And we're going to be finishing the exhibition on our permanent gallery. So right now the exhibition runs through the end of the Civil War. So we're going to run it up through the end of the 20th century. It will include, Reconstruction, the Charleston earthquake, Charleston Renaissance, the impact of the area on by the two world wars, and then right up through the civil rights movement. So we're really very excited.
We're making history here every single day, so we could very well end up in the annals of the Charleston Museum.
That's right.
I love it. So how do people sign up for the event in January?
So charlestonmuseum.org is our website. Just go to the events section, and there's a way to sign up for it. Nighttime at the museum, 21+. We hope everyone will come out.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and Happy New Year as well. It's almost here. We're back after this.